definitely get a Steam.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Sure.
Less than 4 seconds.
Right. Remember when it was 12?
Not really, no. I don't keep up with that.
Be able to get away.
Yeah, people have used it, I guess. Holy cow. I have lost the restream.
Chat again?
Yeah. I closed it. Yeah. Shoot it to Discord and I'll click it. Hey, gummit. That's all right. It probably needs to be closer to the bottom of the. Like, going up every time. All right. Let's do that. Shit. All right. All right. Maybe ready to go. Oh. Oh.
Don't start. No, stop. We can't get started auto playing. That gets stuff.
No such thing as Twitter.
Oh, that's true. X.
Super copyright infringement.
Yeah. Don't want to get
Ugh.
podcast title. Honestly.
Hmm.
So, I do have a pre-show topic for you.
Fine. What is it?
It was brought to my attention that early episode of Looney Tunes has Bugs Bunny reach up to a shelf in a vampire's mansion
Yeah.
and pull a book off. Now, this shelf has a bunch of books on it. And I assume they never expected anybody to be able to pause and zoom to see what the books say.
Yeah.
So the books have some funny titles, like Bone Guide, or Health and Care of Fangs, or Embalmer's Almaniac.
Yeah.
You know, somebody was having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But what this led me to ask for the pre-show topic is, what are your favorite they didn't think people would notice they were having a good time moments you can think of?
Oh gosh. I don't know how to think through it. Like, because I was trying to think of background stuff
Yeah.
that was like that.
The
'Cause
Walking Dead for me is the first one I thought of,
Yeah.
where there's a couple of extras in a scene of The Walking Dead that nobody noticed that are in the background. They're undead, right?
Yeah.
But they do a fist bump.
That's funny.
Yeah, nobody noticed that, you know?
Because there's action and stuff. There's an old Hulk Hogan movie where a guy throws his dog in the water.
Oh, no.
And they didn't catch it on the. Yeah, Hulk Hogan's riding a motorcycle. Is it the nanny? I don't remember. But yeah, behind him, the guy picks up a dog, throws him in the water, and apparently the editors didn't catch it.
Yeah.
I don't know if editing was such an important thing in those for those films, but or if they were even watching what they were doing. I don't know.
I'm trying to think, what movie is it where was it Troy, where the airplane flies over?
It might be, yeah.
Hey,
airplane. Hey, Dark. There's one of them. There's a few times like in movies where they have, and I know this is off subject, where they have, like it's a fantasy setting, and if you look at the right place, you're gonna see like power lines.
Yeah.
What's up? I don't know. I was gonna find. I know they're there.
Yeah.
Like on the garden, like Guardians of the Galaxy has a bunch of them, right? Little things in the back. Yeah. Hey, Will, everybody's here. Excellent. The
Game of Thrones cup, right? That one wasn't as fun. That one was like, look, you guys there's way too much money going in this project for that to slip by.
Does no one care anymore?
What was the? It's a very serious movie. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's the one where they get into the airplane and Nicolas Cage is in there and he's got really long hair.
On air.
Con Air, yeah, thank you.
Yes.
In Con Air, there's a moment where you can just see a very busy highway back there, and they're supposed to be in like a closed off section of the country.
Nice.
But yeah, that's pretty funny. And some people will see that stuff and be like, "Oh, that ruins everything." And I see that stuff and I'm like, that slipped through.
Yeah, right.
Whoops.
Like, pay attention, people.
Yeah. No, I thought it was really funny when I saw Bone Guide. It's like, yeah, that.
Look, when you started out this conversation, there's about a million different ways I thought I could go.
Yeah.
One, old Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I can touch on some sensitive stuff.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Right. Two, I'm like wondering how old is this? Like the Bugs Bunny that was like shown in theaters as a short before other things,
Not
or
that
you know,
old.
not quite that old. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll see that.
This is Looney Tunes on the television era.
I just thought it'd be a cool way to use books and stuff to like start a movie, where instead of like rolling credits, they're like the book titles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know. You know, somebody walks by and it's directed by, so it never like everything's there.
Yeah.
You can see it in the movie, not a ethereal
That'd be
floating.
cool.
Yeah.
I can't think of many movies where the credits are like actually in universe.
Yeah.
There's a word for that. I can't think of it. Happens sometimes with music in movies. Music is in the world as well and not just something that's played over the top for us. Can't think of that word.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what you're searching for there, Trey.
Somebody on YouTube will tell me.
I hope so. I hope so. I don't know. Never do.
Wasn't helpful. Okay, we'll just get started.
Okay.
Alrighty then. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
Got some stuff to talk about tonight. I'm excited.
I hope so.
I think we have some weird news tonight. Some weird choices in a lot of ways.
All right.
But before we get to that, we always start things off with a pop quiz.
Yes. You want to take your pop quiz?
Yes, please.
Got this over here. All right. Fun and games. Talk about different games. All
Okay.
right. This is a comparison. Are there more holes on a Chinese checkerboard or squares on a Scrabble board?
I'm going to say holes on a Chinese checkers board.
Squares on a Scrabble board, 225. A Chinese checkerboard has 121 holes.
Off to a bad start.
Off to a bad start. Bad start. Okay. Fair answer. Fair answer. I can't. Never can argue with that answer. Okay. Well, this one you should get right. How many chess pieces are in a chess set?
Okay. 2 rooks, 4 rooks, 4 knights, so 8, 4 bishops, so that's 12. 2 queens is 14, 2 kings is 16. 8 pawns each, so 16 pawns, 32 pieces.
32 pieces is correct.
Also, I never answered your question, Remus. I'm doing good, thanks. How about you?
Do well. Well, we'll see by the end of this pop quiz. No replacement. Fair answer. 32 is correct. Yes. Yes. I'm sorry to do this. Okay.
That's good, Will.
Excellent. What question and answer game did Chris Haney and Scott Abbott invent on a rainy Saturday in Montreal in 1979?
Trivial Pursuit.
That is correct. Got that one. Excellent.
The only reason I know that is because it was a question in Trivial Pursuit.
Excellent. Yes. How many holes does the wiffle ball have?
6?
You think 6?
It's probably way more than that, but I'm gonna go with 6. Yeah.
It is 8.
Okay. Yeah.
There's 8 there. Okay. I need you to think about this one.
Okay.
They're playing double wiffle ball there. I don't know. That ball curves. Oh, that's excellent. How many eyes are there on the 4 jacks in a deck of cards?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So there's. Feel like I'm not. My brain is shutting down. 4 apiece. There's 4 jacks each, so 16.
Nope.
Oh, the jack has one of the eye covers, doesn't it?
Yes. No.
Oh.
No. Yes. Yes, it is. It's 12.
Yeah.
4 on the 1-eyed jacks and
Yeah.
8 on 2 jacks. Right.
Yep.
Got to do that. So
Hello, Faith.
yeah, 1-eyed jacks and a word everybody's scared of: kings.
Yeah.
On to that one. Did you think it was a trick question, Faith?
I-
Were you looking for me to be clever?
I also
Look.
thought it was a quick question. Trick question.
Was pretty quick.
It was 8, Dark. 8 was the answer to the wiffle ball question.
Oh yeah, 8. Sorry, I missed that. It was 8. Yes, 8. I guess maybe I should like that, like the the actual trademark wiffle ball.
Right.
I think you got practice pitch balls that'll
Yeah.
curve through a pitching machine, and sometimes they're made with a bunch of holes in them. So maybe I should. Some people might have thought of that as a wiffle ball. Anyway,
Somebody could technically hit Swiss cheese after it's rolled up into a ball. Lots of holes in that too.
Make a nice splat. I'm sure it'll be a TikTok trend soon. Yeah. All right. So, what's the standard pitching distance in a game of horseshoes?
I feel like the standard pitching distance is going to be in meters as well and not in feet.
No, it's in feet.
Okay.
It's in
5.
Baldy.
No, 5's too low. 8 feet.
8 feet. Interesting. It's 40 feet.
Whoa! All right.
Yeah, 40 feet.
I've been playing horseshoes wrong this whole time.
Yeah. Oh, look, dude. There's some skill in that.
I'm
when you
sure.
really think going through that. Yeah.
These balls. I only ever played horseshoes at like family reunions, which we don't do anymore. But like everybody was always just close up. We all just cheated, I guess.
Yeah, you did. Well, like the junior league is 30 feet, so maybe that.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
You were closer than I was, that's for sure, Faith.
Do that.
If everyone's cheating, is it really cheating? That's a good question.
Hey, that's okay. Look, that's like mirror villains can be cool.
Yeah.
That gets overused a lot of times. Like I like a lot of the stories with Flash and Reverse Flash, but at the end of the day, they're both the same speed. They're both super speeders. It's just kind of like two normal people fighting, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't really come down to anything. Anyway, what popular board game is also known as draughts? Draughts.
As rots.
Yeah.
Connect 4.
No, but interesting. Interesting you say that though. 3 feet in a yard makes 12 yards at 30 feet. Yeah.
Sorry? What do you have to apologize for?
Okay. So anyway, that's checkers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's checkers. What former sitcom actor became the host on the longest running game show in TV history, The Price is Right?
Bob Saget.
He wasn't a sitcom actor.
Wasn't Bob Saget in Full House?
You could, Bob Saget was on The Price is Right?
Am I wrong? Am I thinking of the wrong person? Did I mix names? Yeah, Bob Saget was on Full House.
Yeah.
But I don't think he was on Price is Right. Let's find out.
Yeah. Bob Saget was a dad on that.
No. Yeah, I'm mixing up two people in my mind. Yeah, I'm mixing up Bob Saget and Bob Barker.
All right. Well, both those answers are wrong.
That's fair. Bob Saget was on America's Funniest Home Videos. That's right.
Yes.
My brain is so stupid.
Yeah. The earliest forms of reaction videos. That's right there. Well, no, I got to take that back. There was Candid Camera.
That's true.
So, welcome back. All right. Look, that was terrible.
Who was it?
What's the only sport where the defense
Come on,
has the
Trey.
ball?
You didn't say who it was.
Oh, Drew Carey. Yeah.
Okay,
Drew
that makes more sense.
Sorry, Chad's got it right.
Yeah.
Chad had it right. It was Drew Carey. Yeah, he was a sitcom.
Okay.
He had the Drew Carey show and all that. Yeah, Chat was all over it. Yeah, so what is the only sport where the defense has the ball?
Only sport where the defense has baseball.
That is correct, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Softball would also been I'd accept that answer as well. Close.
Why is it baseball and softball, not softball and hardball?
I don't know, because playing softball, those aren't soft.
Right.
And that well, both. I don't know how. I think you're going offensively when you're throwing it. So.
Yeah, dodgeball. I think there is no defense, right? And there is no. I guess you're both at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I got to finish. I got a list here. I'm going through it. We're just going out of that. Okay. Last one. What 3 sporting events can you win by going backwards?
Also, just real quick for chat, if there's only one ball that you're playing dodgeball with, absolutely there's defense. But most dodgeball games that are played professionally, which is a weird statement to make, I guess, but I've seen it, have more than one ball in play, and so both teams can wind up with a ball.
Yeah, both teams.
Yeah.
You individually, you're either on defense or offense.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 sports where you can win by going backwards. Luge is one of them.
What?
No, luge is not one of them. You don't go backwards in luge. You go forward in luge.
Sure.
Canoeing.
It's a sport?
Yeah.
Okay.
Backwards. Not looking at chat. Backward.
Creative, Remus, but no.
I'm just kind of to guess the other two. I legitimately don't know. Every sport I think of, you're not going backwards.
Nice try. Commendable efforts from chat.
I'm gonna go with canoeing.
Yeah. Okay.
Pole vaulting's not the right word. What's the one where they just high jump? Is that it? Where they go over the bar?
I guess that could be kind of maybe said it backwards, but that's there's no rule as to how to do.
Right.
How to make that jump. So,
we're just gonna be here forever if I try to answer it outright.
I think you're on right track with one of them because rowing is one of them. Not gonna, but the rest of rowing. Also, the swimming event, the backstroke.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
And parajumping, yeah.
Yeah, and tug of war.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Minus 100-meter dash.
No, no, there was there were some good points in chat. I'm
I
telling
mean,
you there.
I feel like we could make an argument for racing. Like, just saying.
I know. But I've already closed the book. We're done with that quiz. All right,
Technically, a lot of people win pole vault and go over backwards. Saying,
possibly, but they run forward to get there.
That's true.
Yeah. So, but you got 3 right. You got 3 right. No,
Alive. Also,
excellent.
don't luge backwards. I just want to clarify. That was a bad thing to say. Do not do that. That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I'm not so sure it's a good idea to luge forward.
I mean, that's also true. Like, you're thinking about luging, maybe don't.
Luge. Okay, they strap a board on some like
Retake.
like blades, and they hold on. And they go down a bobsled track, basically. On that, you're just laying back. It's like the guy got somebody sat on an ice skate and fell down a slide, and they're like, "Hey, that could be a sport."
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's terrifying. Luge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not luge.
Not luge.
Luge.
We're just glad you're here, Waverly.
Right on.
All right. Well, you ready to get into I'm sorry. Before
Watch
weeks,
out, bearded man!
I'm jumping ahead in a weird way. It's like we don't do this every week or something.
Yeah.
Let's talk Gundam Endless Waltz. Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, the movie.
Yeah. It is one of the movies.
It's better than Char's Counterattack, right?
Yeah.
In the same way that having your ice cream knocked out of your hand is better than being shot.
Yeah, that's about comparable. I don't know. It's overall it's kind of weak.
I like it a
think
lot.
the animation is good, but it's really getting into. Notice because we're going through it chronologically as it came out, right? We're really getting the swing of. I don't know. It's around that era. I think it's going to go for a few more years of like this. There's a solid style of animation.
Broke Will's heart, by the way. He's played Akira cry.
I'm sorry. For what we get in the series, this just kind of it's got a little epilogue that's like, all right.
Yeah.
You create scenario for dramatic.
Yeah.
And I mean, you do everything, but I don't know how. It's just not a solid thing it could have been.
Well, and they don't explain anything. This is my biggest problem with both Wing and Endless Waltz. They don't explain anything about the backstory of the pilots. If you want to know why they make the choices they make in the series, you have to go read the manga. Like,
yeah. There's stuff, and you're not going to get the reaction.
Yeah,
not knowing backstory stuff. Man. That's not. Nah.
Will also redeemed a disappointed and an emotional damage.
I think they had good character. It's definitely a product of the 90s.
Yeah,
there's no doubt there.
Oh, sorry, Faith did the Kira cry. I'm sorry.
Pay attention.
Sorry. No, and that's a good point. When the protagonists get in the Leos, they actually can do things.
Yeah, and look, each character in the boy band is kind of let you down in the movie.
Yeah, I think the idea for something cool is there. The idea of like, hey, let's focus on what happens to somebody that only knows how to fight after the war is over. Like, that's a cool premise.
It is cool.
Wu Fei doesn't do anything with it.
Yeah. No, I am strong. Yeah. What that? I don't know. Sending the Gundams off, be destroyed, and like, oh crap, we got to get them.
Yeah.
That it's just. I don't think I got anything extra out of watching it. The that that I didn't already have from the series.
Right.
And I feel like you should.
They don't mention how Preventer Wind is alive. You know, they don't get into any of that. The narrator says at the end that there were never wars again.
Yeah.
But I've read the manga. I know that's not true. Like, traditional, yeah. And he brings on women just to talk bad about them.
Right. Oh yes. Fresh and Wu-Fei.
Right.
The
Oh.
That's what I trace it. I trace it. Yeah, and look, I don't think that's a great thing that could be done very well as a great thing. But it also you can't walk. You're walking a very fine line with the audience because you're trying to, they want kids.
Yeah.
They want children, to bug their parents to buy stuff for them. I think Wu-Fei kind of gets done wrong.
Oh yeah.
A little bit because you find out what his backstory is. I thought he was like 14 or whatever. But apparently, he was married and lost his wife in war. And okay, I can understand some of his jadedness.
That would have been nice to have in the story.
Yeah.
Like,
I think you can give him a good turn. I really do. I think you can pull Wu-Fei out of that. That's where he starts at and goes, look, that line of thinking does not, that logic doesn't work. That doesn't work in reality. You're not going to be able to maintain that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that doesn't come across at all.
No, it doesn't.
We're both technically adults. Yeah.
They make Hiro a little bit shorter, and that's it.
Yeah. And I noticed, I swear, Duo's braid got real thick in the movie.
It did. I can't wait for him to knock somebody out with it. No, that's my biggest problem is I actually think their backstories are genuinely interesting. Yeah. I don't think that at any point the series, both the regular series or the movie, truly capitalizes on those backstories. But they're so cool of an idea, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it makes me sad that they never get into like, hey, Duo was raised by a priest, Hey, Troa was born on a battlefield and he's trying to find his real family, and somewhere along the way that ggets lost as he got stuck fighting,
Yeah, now you know why he's so sentimental about the circus.
Yeah.
That little family that he's had. That's not, warriors out to kill everything, but actually, hey, we care about you.
Yeah, I agree with you. The manga does some weird stuff with that. It's possible that Catherine is actually his sister? So when she calls him her brother, she's not wrong. It will miss even more, yeah. Yeah. You also, you lose out on all the Trey's backstory, which I don't think you necessarily need, but it does make Trey's way cooler. The only thing we gain...
You still have his ending, which is kind of dumb.
Yeah. The only thing we gain in Endless Waltz, really, is the new mobile suit designs.
The only clever thing in Endless Waltz is when she names the three things that will always be.
Yeah.
War, something, two other things. I was like, okay, well, now it's an Endless Waltz. Yes. Waltzes are 3/4 beat.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They name three things. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know there's anything that's like, I don't know. Like I said, that I got in the series.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Endless Waltz didn't really add anything to it.
I love the Tallgeese 3.
On that, I think I like the original Tallgeese a bit.
That's fair. Still love the Tallgeese 3.
Yeah.
One last thing I want to mention that we talked about while we were watching the movie is Dorothy has a solid gold van, like a solid gold Peterbilt.
Yeah.
What?
That thing's got a huge motor in it. That thing is a gas-guzzling monster.
It has to.
That vehicle made out of gold like that? Yeah. I don't know. Trey's and Vex, their whole thing. Yeah. I don't know. They do so much stuff that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
After watching Wing Endless Waltz again, I can say that the best thing about the After Colony timeline is the side story manga that is about other characters. The G Project side story manga is Lost Colony is really good. And I wish the main animated series was as good, but I still had a lot of fun watching it because it's just an action series, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And anything back on the timeline after G Gundam is good to me, so I don't.
It's definitely more Gundam than G Gundam is, right? Like,
yeah, definitely more Gundam than G Gundam. I don't know what kind of compliment that is. But once again, I get props to the suit designs. I think the suit looks great in both the movies and the the updated one. I did look. He
absolutely did, Dark. He absolutely did, and he did it almost single-handedly.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, Lost Colony is in Crossrays. Great.
Is it that time? Isn't that about? Are we there?
It tells me the ad is starting soon.
Okay.
But speaking of starting soon, we're starting 08th MS Team this week.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people, 08th MS Team is like their favorite small-scale like conflict in the entire series. And so I'm excited for us to get there. I don't like a lot of the plot of 08th MS Team, but some of its fights are the best in the entire series, hands down.
I think the universe could use a lot for telling like shorter, more singular stories.
Yeah.
And
the good news is this takes us back to the Universal Century. So we're back to like Amuro and stuff there, and it's during the 1 Year War. So
okay.
Kind of like Igloo. We do have an ad going now.
Okay.
I like Oi the Mess Team. I just don't love some of the story.
Ed.
4 more seconds on the. No, I do love the Geminos Unit 1 and the Leo S. Lost Colony manga has some great stuff in there. It's real good. G Unit. It's interesting because the first episode 1 is set before 0079 starts. And then episode 2 through the rest is after the start of after the start of 0079.
I don't know.
So it jumps around
a
little bit.
Keep that in mind.
Do I find the novel story? I think the novel story is more concise, is maybe the way to put it. Like, the novel story makes more sense. But I think the anime story is better told. Like, it's more fun, maybe?
Maybe.
I think if I'm going to just read the story, I'm going to read the novel. But if I want to watch something, I'm going to watch the show, So. That's a dumb statement in a lot of ways, but...
If I'm in the mood to read, I'm going to read something. If I'm in the mood to watch something, I'm going to watch something.
But like, if they were both the same and I just wanted the story, I'd read the novel,
Gotcha.
No, it's not all before 0079 because some of the stuff is not until after certain suits are introduced in 0079.
So you can line it up there?
Yeah.
Dark. There's some scenes I remember a little bit flashy.
Yeah, there's...
End of the series for sure.
Was it the firing of Libra? They fire Libra. That scene flashed way too hard.
Yeah, and there was one they were trying to do. I know what they were trying to do. The scene they're setting up where they're sitting in front of the screens, and it is like flashing. I don't know.
That's pretty much the statement that I made.
Right. Yeah. Excellent.
All right. Well, let's move on into weeks then. How's your week been?
It's been all right. I watched She-Hulk.
Okay.
And anytime you talk in a suit in a command center. Okay. I got you.
Yeah, with the flashing screens behind them for no reason.
Yeah. But I watched She-Hulk. Encapsulated in itself, that's a rather entertaining show.
Okay.
It's funny. It's not, look.
I've only heard bad things about it.
I understand that, And I can't. The thing that kind of it upsets me at the same time. I find it entertaining, but I can't hold that as canon in the MCU.
Right.
It kind of. I think it almost should be titled like "What if there was a She-Hulk?"
I got you.
Do that. Nothing. I'd have a much better review of it. No, it does. It does. It does. It does poke fun at the MCU.
Okay.
And I think in places it does a good job of that through that. It wasn't good, not compared to what can be done.
Okay.
Right. And through that, and like Titania is actually a pretty cool villain if you know a little bit of backstory, and she kind of got blown over, reworked into something else what they needed like that. Yeah, that was a bit much. However, which for where everybody's talking, I thought Megan Thee Stallion had like a much bigger part in this. She really doesn't.
Okay.
You know, doesn't a lot of the music for it, but it's
Right.
really cool scenes. She does fine. Right, it really doesn't through that, which is disappointing to them.
Yeah.
But the I take that as yeah. They try it feels like they wanted that, and there is some very kind of like personal conflicts that Jennifer Walters has with herself.
Yeah.
I just think they blow it at the end of the day. It's
gotcha.
entertaining. I'm not holding it as canon. I thought the end of it was kind of but kind of funny at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just they ruined your favorite two characters. I'm sorry. I understand the feeling though. I really do.
I've heard it's definitely not like She-Hulk comics, but I haven't seen it.
No, but like, okay, Jennifer Walters a lawyer.
Right.
She's a good lawyer, and they never capitalize on that.
I got
She
you.
she does a good job lawyering, but like to solve if we're talking comic books, I can't argue like that.
All I know about her as lawyer is that she was able to get Moon Knight acquitted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, excuse me?
But see, but like that's her thing. She is a lawyer. She knows the law, and she will go through it. And she's got the brain power. She is not a gamma radiation scientist or anything like that, right?
Right.
She's a lawyer, and I thought they're going to lean into that a little bit and have her actually pull off some lawyerly stuff,
right?
And it kind of becomes, and they act like they're going to it the first, and then it kind of becomes a nothing.
I got you.
And the idea of, she's also a different lawyer than Daredevil too.
Right.
Right. They don't give her, they don't let her shine there.
I got you. So what I'm getting is it's a fun watch if you divorce it from the comics, and if you divorce it from kind of the rest of the MCU.
Yeah, like with Thor: Love and Thunder, I think that's not good.
Right.
Not good, but I can kind of go, okay, well, Korg is telling that story.
Right.
It's at the beginning. You really don't. They never touch it again in the movie. Like I have a scene where it hits the Korg, and then that's what it needed in the middle, kind of. But let's go on to that. But yeah, they don't. As like She-Hulk, I don't know. There's so much about it. And I realize I got comic book bias here. Like She-Hulk, when she's big and green, she's beautiful, big and green.
Right.
She's powerful. She's not as strong as her cousin. It's kind of a different thing,
right?
Different way it goes about for her. But yeah, I think my biggest disappointment in it is I really wanted her to shine as a lawyer.
Yeah.
Like Law and Order type stuff.
Yeah, and they've proven they can do it because Daredevil.
Yeah. If they'd have if they'd done it more like the Daredevil show, more based in reality, because it's not. This is more like it's like reading Superman. You read along, and then you get an issue with Mixoplex.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything's just kind of out of anything. This could go anyway, right?
I would love that remodel. I would watch the heck out of that. It would be terrible, but I would watch it.
If they if they did it this way and they treated lawyers as they did She-Hulk, as they treated Jennifer Walters, then yeah. Well, she also knew was a little more confident socially too.
Yeah. Like, I think that's one thing that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has kind of messed up. I mean, they've messed up with Hulk in a lot of ways, but he is a recluse in a lot of ways, and they made him friendly and affable for the sake of jokes, and it was fun at the time, but, like, that's not Bruce Banner, you know?
Yeah. In fact, there's a comic book theory that basically states, well, actually, the reason there's a Hulk is to protect us from Bruce Banner.
Right.
Because if he had free reign to do his experiments and stuff,
right,
it would get out of hand.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Not the best anything. I really think the MCU's getting weak.
Oh yeah.
They rely on tropes too much. There's highlights in there. Not as many as you would think. Not many things. There is a couple, but there's some good stuff in there. There's some good stuff in there, I don't know. Not much. I can't really give it a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or recommend it or not.
Right.
Right. It's not the worst thing you'll ever watch. But if you love the MCU, you're gonna kind of have to count this out as like something on the side.
Yeah.
An extra What If episode that was done live action.
Right. I got you.
But it wasn't too bad. Do that. We're on day 300 something. Don't Starve Together.
Nice.
Me and my love are playing that. And that's going pretty good. I don't think we're gonna start for a while. Play Shulky straight up from the comics. Yeah, but they could have done that with lots of characters.
Yep.
That I almost feel like I kind of in my heart expect that.
Yeah. I mean, I could count on one hand the ones that are like direct to the comics, right?
Yeah.
It's Groot.
Well, the MCU is its own universe, but I think I think they try to make Deadpool without the talent for She-Hulk, and they end up messing up a really good character.
I got you. That's a shame.
It is. Like I said, I want lawyer.
Yeah.
You tell me it's a courtroom drama? Well, no, really, it's a courtroom comedy. There was not much courtroom in there. And look, they did this as characters. You got a friend named Nikki, right?
Right.
Not a bad character. Now, we don't have Rick Jones in the MCU.
Right.
And a huge part of Hulk's story.
Mm-hmm.
And then one universe is also the Abomination. Spoilers, I guess, for comic history. I think Nikki could kind of fill that role a bit more.
Yeah.
They just kind of make her clever for cleverness' sake, I guess.
I got you.
Yeah, she's very Well, they're gonna hit on that because she is very serious with that. But yeah, it's not peak performance. Like I said, I think it kind of makes fun of the MCU, and that's the best it does.
Yeah.
Really makes fun of Kevin Feige. Yeah. But
I don't doubt it. We're at that point with the MCU where every character has to be, fun and making jokes all the time, and nobody can be serious anymore.
Well, Guardians of the Galaxy Ragnarok did its thing.
Yeah.
And I enjoy both those all those movies immensely.
Mm.
Right. That's not what I want.
Right.
With every superhero movie, though,
Yeah.
I don't want Deadpool every superhero movie.
Yeah.
I need a Winter Soldier.
Absolutely. And when they said, "Hey, we're not going to use Hank Pym as Ant-Man because we want a more fun Ant-Man," I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure. There are other characters that are Ant-Man. Pick the one that's going to fit your goal more." and go with that. Don't change Hank Pym. And they didn't. Hank Pym is still a very serious character in the MCU. Yeah. And so it's disheartening to hear that they went, yeah, but we're just going to make She-Hulk that instead,
Yeah. But it's getting better. I said, not the worst thing I've seen.
Yeah.
Not even the worst thing out of the MCU, but yeah.
Copy and paste and quit.
Look. Yeah.
Everybody's got to be Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know. And that is something. Everybody can be clever. It didn't work.
It absolutely ruined the tone of Hawkeye. Like, they had Hawkeye with like a incredibly serious tone, and then he just starts quipping.
Yeah. And also, they kind of just... Hawkeye's deaf.
Yep.
He is deaf.
It's a really important part of his character.
Yeah. It's a part you can play up. You have, there's things. He's got help with hearing.
Yeah.
And yeah, that just got... I think there was even talk about that when, like, first knew he was going to be appearing.
Yeah.
About wondering if they're going to play him deaf.
Right.
And it happened with... He was kidnapped by somebody with Mockingbird. They were tied up. Oh, I can't remember exactly how it happened, but I remember the villain... Was it the Silencer? I don't know. He was trying to pull the bow, talking about how weak Hawkeye was, and he couldn't draw his bow. It's like, yeah, it's a 100-pound bow, and you can't draw it. Don't talk to me about being weak.
Right.
And then something went off with like a whistle or something, a disorienting thing, and Mockingbird managed to plug her ears, and of course he couldn't.
Right.
He was firing the arrow, whatever that made the noise, and it made him deaf. Anyway, the character's deaf. I think that would have been kind of a cool addition in the MCU.
It would have been. There's a really fun issue of the comics where Hawkeye is the one that is able to easily defeat the Purple Man, Killmonger, because, hey, he can't hear him. So his power doesn't work on him. He just takes his hearing aid out, and guess what? Yeah.
See? Still wondering why no one furthered the Piper is now a super mutant? The Piper?
Not ringing any bells for me.
No.
First Piper I thought of was Fallout. Iron Man 3. Oh, that Piper. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. Sorry. Pepper Potts is who you're talking about?
I'm assuming.
Yeah. I don't know. I
figured that's who you're talking about.
Well, like Iron Man 3, I think like a good view of the MCU as a whole. Iron Man 1 groundbreaking. It was a gamble. It was, they read the comics. Scene with him blowing up the tank is straight out of the comics.
Yeah.
They did that, and then then you end up with what they did with the Mandarin and all that. And just kind of pathetic.
Well, and Tony's not quipping all the time in Iron Man 1. He's a very serious character. When he's in a good mood, he quips, but he's not always in a good mood, Yeah,
but the best part in Iron Man 3 is like after the fight when he's like, "Good talk, everyone." You hear one guy go, "No, it wasn't."
Yeah, that's a great line.
Highlight Iron Man 3 was simply to show off what Wanda and Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Don't even get me started on Quicksilver and what they did to him. Don't even get me started.
Well, the X-Men needed him back.
Yeah, I guess. It'll be hard to get him back now.
Which they own Fox now.
Yeah.
And I know Disney, I bet they thought about rebooting the whole thing. Right? Man, we worked on in development, we worked on all these different suits.
Yeah.
We'll just blow them all up at the end of this one.
Well, another thought just hit me. We talk about how Marvel makes everybody quip. DC does the opposite. DC tries to make everybody serious. They had Cyborg in the movie, and Cyborg doesn't crack jokes.
Cyborg is a smart ass.
Yeah, he's cracking jokes all the time in the comics.
Yeah, like him, man.
There's one of my favorite issues of Cyborg ever, like a Teen Titans story. Cyborg goes into a gas station, right?
I'm sorry.
That's fair. He goes into a gas station. He's picking up some milk. Somebody tries to rob it. He stands in the way. They punch him, break their hand on his chest, and he goes, "Oh, maybe you should have hit harder." And then just punches the guy. And it's like, yeah, that's Cyborg.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, read the comics, people. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Look, there's some stuff you can't make into a movie, okay?
Yeah.
There's stuff you're not going to be able to put on the screen. I'm not saying copy panel for panel.
Yeah, he's pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I like Cyborg.
Exactly.
Massacred my boy.
They did.
No, stop it. Alexa, stop. I didn't even talk to you. Stop. Anyway, was that anything else in your week? Anything else you wanted to mention?
Well, I got a piano.
Yeah.
I got a piano behind me. You can't see it. That's fine. But this piano is kind of special to me. There's a picture of a
Retake.
baby, and like just sitting up, baby, and sitting at this piano playing it.
Nice.
I haven't had it for a long time. I just got it back. Got it in this house today. Yeah.
Very nice.
It's old. I can do some cleaning on it and get it set back up. Kind of, I don't know. It's a big deal for me.
Yeah.
Than anybody else, but
glad for you.
That's been my week.
Okay.
So the Spider-Man Deadpool would probably be pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not ever going to be 1-to-1, and we'll talk about that with my week. One Piece.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm saying, read them.
Yeah, as long as you keep the heart of it, it's okay if it's not.
Yeah, I don't want the exact same story. It's like Ben Affleck as Batman. You give me that Batman. If you're going to do that, just give me that story.
Yeah.
Do that. Yeah. Yeah. Do that. That's why he's such a good foil for Cable, like Deadpool. Anyway, getting off in comic book lore when that could be it. That could take forever. How's your week, sir?
Well, speaking of comic book lore, let's talk One Piece.
That's a manga.
That's correct. Comic. Yeah, I've finished episode 6 of the live action for One Piece on Netflix. And so there's 2 episodes to go.
Which is like chapter 842 in the manga?
Not quite that far, but it's like chapter 40-ish.
Okay.
So it's still quite a bit that they've cut down. And when we talk about adaptations, like we said, I don't need it to be 1-to-1. I just need the heart to be there. It's clear the people making the show read One Piece. There are so many little moments where there's references to stuff that comes later. There are so many like costume changes that they have that are references to cover story arcs that are just on the front. Just a costume used one time, drawn by Oda one time on the front cover of a issue. And that's all it was ever used for. But they had the whole department for clothing make them for costumes, make them that outfit just for this single part of this episode. And it's very clear they paid attention, right? There's a lot of things they did with Usopp that I don't love in episodes 3 and 4. I don't know if that's where the budget was strained, because episodes 3 and 4 cover the Syrup Village arc, which is where there's like a whole pirates are coming up the beach thing, got to defend the town arc in the manga, and it's really cool. They turned it into a spooky horror mansion scene where a pirate killer haunts people in a mansion. Yeah, it's all right? It's not as good as the manga, not by far, right? But it's still really fun. I think the casting's really good. The actors have only gotten better as they've gone. I'm right there with you, Waverly. I think the guy that plays Luffy in early episodes would struggle. He was doing a good job, but it was clear that he had to like turn on Luffy in his mind and then turn off again instead of just staying in character. Like, he would say a line and then for just a second you could see him like flicker. Like he would pause before he had to say the next line. That doesn't happen anymore. He's just going full into it now. It's really good to see the growth already just in the filming time, because a lot of these actors are relatively new actors. And I think they're doing a dang good job. The guy that plays Zoro has been in a couple of Super Sentai series, which I didn't know about. So that's cool.
Yep.
But he's doing absolutely incredible. And to the point where there is a scene where in the manga, Zoro throws his arms out. It's a very important moment. They'd cut out a lot of moments like that throughout the manga. But in the anime, they have him throw his arms out. And I came to find out that the actor for Zoro, McKinyu, specifically said, no, we have to make sure we do this scene. Well, no matter what else we have to cut from this part, we have to do this scene. Yes, absolutely. Because it turns out he's a huge One Piece fan.
Fair enough. So is it enough that another going to cut out parts, but that's
always going to happen.
Be short. Yeah, it's always going to happen through that. But is it enough to where if you enjoy the story, they've thrown it like that scene with the hands out, or the costumes that you've got from like, yeah, I know what's happening here.
Yeah.
And this scene is good because of it.
Yeah, I think so. My wife has not read One Piece. She's watched a little bit of the anime, but fell off of it. She didn't catch her, She has seen the 6 episodes of the live action and is like, maybe we should watch One Piece. Yes! Yes! Yeah! So it's working, it's doing what it needed to do. And the guy that plays Buggy, he was made for that role. Buggy the Clown, he is doing an incredible job. He is selling that role. So it's really good so far. A lot of the music is great. I still don't think the main theme is any good. The main theme of the show is like a bum 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 bum. It's like, that's fine. It's like it's a pirate theme, right? But pirates in One Piece are a different thing entirely than regular pirate media, Yeah. And so it's like it doesn't really fit One Piece. But at one point they played an instrumental version of We Are, which is the anime's first opening theme. And it was really, really good. So again, like, they know the source material. And the big moments, they've been getting perfectly fine. Those big moments are right on par. They're told differently, right? But they're right on par with the heart of those original scenes. I think they actually made it look really good. I was really concerned with... So, for anybody who doesn't... I guess this is technically spoilers, but there is a character in One Piece that has the ability to separate his limbs and his body parts, and I was really concerned how they were going to handle that.
Arm fall off boy? Is that?
Yeah, that's him. And they did an absolutely incredible job with it. It is wonderful. Wonderful. They cut out a villain that I really like, which is kind of a shame, but he doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. And I feel like they needed to rush things to introduce a different villain. And that villain is done pretty well. I'm really excited for the next couple episodes. So,
yeah, you make your heroes look good, but making your villains look good.
So, I agree. The makeup department is all over it. They are nailing that for the villains. The villains look just like the series, the manga. Down to, like, a character has a giant sword and a tiny sword. I have no idea how hard it was to make that tiny sword and make it look right, but it looks right. His sideburns are perfect. It's so good. I have no idea how they would have to, like, redo that completely for Gear 5 for sure. But they are going to continue the live action because they've already announced it's getting a second season. So it's going to continue.
Ruin it.
They still could ruin it, but I'm stoked to see how they're going to do a lot of the stuff coming forward. There are obviously things I'm terrified of. How are they going to do Tony Chopper? Tony Chopper is a reindeer man. How are they going to do that, That's fair, Dark. Also, I need to backtrack on something I said last week. I said last week they added stockings to Nami. That's a my bad. In the original Romance Dawn, not One Piece Chapter 1, but the Romance Dawn one-shot, Nami had stockings. That was a reference they were doing. It wasn't they changed her design. That was a reference. And that's on me. I was wrong. So they still changed Usopp's nose, but...
You remember, you did get that pop quiz question correct.
Yeah, for Romance Dawn, so...
Yeah,
I have read Romance Dawn. I just forgot they gave Nami stockings there. No, after her introduction, she doesn't have the stockings anymore, and she is right on with manga Nami.
Okay. Short got legs.
I would love to see a live-action version of Movie 6. Movie 6 is a horror movie, Baron Matsuri, and in that horror movie, there is a wonderful sequence. It's terrifying, where Luffy is desperately trying to fight the main villain of the arc, while the main villain of the arc, which is a flower creature, is eating people, and he can't stop it, and he's desperate. Movie 6 is great. One Piece Movie 6, Baron Matsuri. If you even remotely like One Piece, you should watch that movie. Might spoil you on a couple early story things, but it's got a brand new art style used just for that movie that makes it look more Junji Ito-esque. And it's amazing. I love One Piece Movie 6. It's great. And if you ask, why do we call them One Piece Movie 6? It's because we're at the point where they've just thrown names out or numbers out, and now it's One Piece Film Red, One Piece Film Z, you know?
All right, Will.
What? Sounds good, Will. No, One Piece live action has... Sanji is perfect. And that's what I needed. I needed Sanji to be perfect, and he is perfect. Go enjoy your meal then, sir. Ito animation of Uzumaki. Yeah, Uzumaki is incredible, and I'm looking forward to that anime for sure, because Uzumaki is one of the few things that definitely still terrifies me as an adult, that when I read it every time, it completely unsettles me. Uzumaki's great. Junji Ito is a masterpiece worker. I worded that really poorly, but he makes masterpieces. I've been talking for minutes straight. Okay, I'm trying to keep everything straight in my head. That's made you giggle. That's fair. Thank you for that. Still been playing Baldur's Gate 3. We've deep into Act 2 now. Oh, it's gonna be terrible. Yeah, no doubt. I've not. No. No. Like Avatar live action is gonna be. Why? They're gonna ruin Uncle Iroh. There's no doubt in my mind they're gonna ruin Uncle Iroh. Look, I'm sorry. I'm invested at this point. Okay. No, I've got one major complaint for Act 2 of Baldur's Gate 3, which is you get into an area that has a status effect on the area, and you can counter it with a lot of stuff, right? Then you get deeper into the area, and it's got a secondary version of the status effect that you can't counter with a lot of stuff. That's fair, Dark. You have to go get specific things that require you to do specific quests, and that's not really the way the game has been for most of the game. It's been very open. There's like 5 or 6 ways to handle everything. And so I'm with you. I'm with you, Waverly. 100%. It's just, it feels really weird. And so we got one of the items that you need. And then like 4 hours later, we got a second one. But the one that we got, the first one, is a bubble that blocks out the status effect. And it's only a bubble around the character carrying it. Now, since I'm playing co-op with my wife, that means that we can't split up at all until we find the second one. We are stuck walking side by side. And it's really frustrating for two people that go completely different ways every time we enter a room to go explore and find stuff, to be stuck to the hip walking, you know? It just really frustrating. And so when we finally got the second one, 4 hours later, it was like, finally, thank goodness. I just wish there were more ways around it, because the game so far has been really good about giving me so many different ways to handle stuff, and then here it just narrows it down to a point, you know?
Not as open as you thought it was, huh?
Yeah. Look, chat, I'm with you 100%. I don't trust them.
The only thing that has going, I don't think U-Bowl has anything to do with it.
That's true. That's true. Just careful what you say. He might try to box you. Get it to one detractor already. And then finally for my week, I beat Armored Core 6 again.
You make a Gundam?
I did. I made 2 Gundams. They're not quite perfect, but they're close.
They're close, okay.
No, I beat New Game Plus Plus. I've now beaten every mission of the game and got my achievement for beating every mission in the game, you know. Still don't have S rank on all of them. Still haven't found all the parts. Still haven't got all the combat logs. But I have all the missions done. I've beaten all 3 final bosses. The 3rd final boss, I did not beat it in a single night. No, I've beaten it over the course of days. The 3rd final boss was the first time that I had to change my build from beating into first playthrough. And it was kind of a shame because I really liked that build, and I got to the end of it and was like, "Whoa, I can't do that." We're still gonna stream it, Dark. Calm down. We're still doing our full repeat playthrough. Don't forget. But as I said during that playthrough, I wanted to have every mission unlocked so we could do all the variant missions as we go through, so that it's 100% playthrough when we go through it. We beat all of Chapter 1 on last Friday's stream. This Friday's stream, we're going to try and beat the rest of the game. But we'll see, because it's a lot of missions. So,
okay.
But I wanted to have...
Play it, man. Whatever excuse you need, just play it.
I wanted to have all the variants of the different missions. So there's still parts I don't have yet, but I'm pretty close to owning all of them. And we're going to talk about some more Armored Core in a little bit with some announcements that we have, or some news, I guess. I don't remember where I put it somewhere. But no, it says specifically that I have just done all the missions. There are no more missions currently in the game for me. It specifically told me in game, you have completed every mission. All right. I believe you now. I wouldn't have believed you 2 playthroughs ago, but I believe you now. It is a little sad. I want more missions. I just want to keep playing that game. I did play around with some of the weapons that have been patched. Again, we'll talk about the patch in a little bit, but it's fine. The new weapons are better, but I didn't feel any big difference. The final boss was still really tough, so you know. I like that game a lot. Doing a review on it soon. We'll get to the patch in a little bit, chat. Relax. There's some good stuff. No, they made weapons better. They made weapons better. So, you ready to get into reviews?
Yeah. Review.
Just for you, I believe. All right. I gotta get Dark's name off the ice cream thing.
All right.
We only have one review tonight. And it's for Eternites. It'll be up there again. We'll see.
It's for what?
Eternites.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna read their description for you.
Oh, never mind. Ugh.
Eternites is a dating action game where you try to make the most out of life during the apocalypse. Monday, go on a date. Tuesday, clear dungeon. Friday, freak out. The clock is ticking. That's the description of the game.
Okay. You know what? In a weird way, I kind of got like Night of the Comet vibes from this. I don't know why, so I only have to go 84.
Yeah. Autoplay the video.
Yes, one review, Rims. One.
Just the one today. For anybody that was spooked by that audio playing, I am sorry. Steam autoplayed the video when I was trying to read the... Not supposed to do that, but it did. So, now that you know that it is a Persona-like, and I say that very roughly, because that's a weird way to classify it, but that's how they classified it. Like, what does that mean? Does it mean it's a JRPG? Does that mean you have social links? Does it mean you can date people while you're fighting enemies? What does it mean? A bunch of games do that, not just Persona. Why would they call it that? But
yeah, I do dating action. I don't know, man. That it's a this like, it's a that like.
yeah, don't know, Rima. Good question. What are you thinking?
I bet there is on the internet somewhere.
Oh.
Rule 34. All right, I gave it 84.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Might be.
Score is 71.
All right.
70.
Fine. See what they have to say about it. See what they have to say for themselves.
So, Try Hard Guides says Eternites is a humorous and raunchy adult dating sim that cleverly fuses itself with a grim action adventure. Good comedy writing combines itself seamlessly with the dark reality of the setting, presented through beautifully designed levels and masterfully animated cutscenes. Everything in Eternites meshes together wonderfully, and if you're a fan of anime, you're sure to enjoy what this game has to offer.
I feel like that's a trick phrase in there.
Yep.
If you're a fan of anime, I'm not sure if I trust that.
Yeah.
Actually,
Anime's so broad. But why, though, says Eternites ultimately gets more things wrong than right. It lacks a general sense of polish, and the writing is legitimately baffling at times. The combat feels great more often than not, but it's hard to justify spending too much time on this title.
okay. All right. Exactly. Probably. I don't probably. I would guess 68 is what I'm going with.
Okay. I've heard you're an avid food fan.
Right. It's weird. People think like, fair enough. Is that I think
Score is 45%.
oh, ruthless. They killed it. Yeah, I don't really recommend it at all.
Yep.
Golly.
Yep.
Not fair. Try Again Studio.
Yeah. Let's move on to announcements.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that's quite a drop there.
Yep.
Quite a drop.
So, our first announcement here is that Hayao Miyazaki has returned to Studio Ghibli to direct one final film, a fantasy on a grand scale. In other news, the sun came up this morning and the sky's still blue.
I don't know. I think it's hard for him to sit at home.
Yeah.
And him to have day to day where it's like, hey man, you got nothing to do.
Yeah.
There's a lot, you can do anything. What do you want to do? Make a movie. It's like, all right, fine. That's right, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. How many of these boxes? Hey, look, Final Fantasy was supposed to be first and last in that series. That is the intention of Final Fantasy. That's why it's named that. The guy was not going to make any more games. Yeah. I might be want to try to give him some new that's a fair point. Who would you rather have making the films?
Yeah, I'd be glad. By all means, let him keep making movies. I just think it's funny every time he says this will be the last one.
Look, you don't always have to rebel against your parents.
Nobody's gonna believe him. That's right. Waiting. The next one.
No.
Next up. Go ahead.
His legacy would be better if he just never says that again. Just every once in a while make a film while you can, while you're still breathing, sir.
Yeah.
And then when you're not here anymore, we're going to stop and everybody's going to stop and look and go, this was his last film.
Yeah. And I think, for sure, Dark, I think it's weird because he keeps saying it's his last film, but then he's made one every year for the last 6 years.
I don't think he's helped himself. I think he has to work.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know, I don't. It's a super arrogant coming from me. But creativity, talent, it screams to be used.
Yeah.
It does. It screams to be used. And you know, you can either ignore it or you give in to it.
Right.
And, you know, he chooses not to ignore it. He wants to create. So, well, he's old school, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, dude is super dedicated.
Yeah. Can't lie that. But yeah, he's a filmmaker, so he's gonna make the best films. You know, he might not, he may never see himself as the best filmmaker in the world or for his style or whatever.
Right.
But he's gonna make the best films that he can.
Yeah. And that most people love. Most people that I've talked to that've seen him anyway.
But yeah. There's some great animation there. Some great stories do that. Some are okay. Look, talent means you have the ability to do something. You got a next little jump. And I think he does have a talent for it. But talent is nothing if you're not using it.
Yeah.
If you're not exercising it.
He's got the skill.
You can be smart. If you don't use it, if you don't exercise it, it's not gonna lead you anywhere.
For sure.
There's a difference between talented, unless you're talking like Prodigy or something. I'm not talking about talented in that way. I don't think Prodigy is a different thing entirely.
Yeah. Welcome back, Will. What'd you eat? Well, since I don't have a good segue for this.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat 1 is adding a Johnny Cage skin that is Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's like look. That's really nice.
Hello, Michael. How you doing?
Welcome.
Emotional damage.
So we knew they were making it. What we didn't know was what it was going to look like. And we've seen it now.
I don't know. I think that's pretty awesome. Now I have an inkling to play it, actually. I can play Jean-Claude Van Damme.
It doesn't look like him. That's the kicker.
Of course not.
It looks like somebody took a picture of Jean-Claude Van Damme and then somebody drew the skin based on that, right? So it's not directly him. It looks like smoothed jaw, hair that doesn't look quite right. In this, you got to pay for this skin, you know? I don't know. It doesn't look like him. But yeah, I don't know what they were thinking when they were like, yeah, you know, this is him. And the comments, people going like, yeah, his head's too narrow, his nose is too big, his eyes are too small. Like, yeah, it doesn't look anything like him. It's just crazy. It's the Avengers game version of it. Yeah, so people are a little upset, but you know, people have been a little upset with Mortal Kombat 1 for a little bit now. Cameo characters thing, and
yeah,
so I thought it was really funny that it's like, yeah, we're gonna pay homage to Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he was Guile in the Street Fighter movie, and so in Mortal Kombat we're gonna have Johnny be him, and then they did this.
Yeah.
Oh,
can't you? I should have taken like his character from Cyborg or something, and be like, hey. Anyway.
Well, they claim that this skin is based on Bloodsport, Jean-Claude Van Damme, but it doesn't.
The story of Frank, I love Bloodsport. Frank Dukes is full of crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You watch the Street Fighter movie because they didn't give him a flat. They didn't even try.
Bad.
Let's talk about Sonic Frontiers. The Final Horizon.
No, it ain't.
So this
They'll
is
always get another Sonic game. I don't know what they're trying to pull.
always. This is the final DLC pack for Frontiers. It's going to be a big
Final Frontier.
They should have called it the Final Frontier. That would have been.
They couldn't.
They couldn't. That's right. It's owned, isn't it? It's full copyrighted. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to have a brand new story, and you'll be able to play as Amy, Knuckles, and Tails. So they've completely reworked how the engine works for characters to be able to make them actually playable and give them movesets. Because people had hacked it before and found they didn't even have movesets, you know.
Okay.
Probably not for a while, Dark, with the fact that they're still trying to keep it very kid-friendly. But if you just look on the internet, you'll find a lot of images about that. They're also going to add more songs and more challenges and stuff like that. So I think it's cool. The trailer they made for it was pretty fun, with each of the characters getting different things going on. Or like Amy's trying to find Sonic, and Knuckles is just trying to win some fights, and Tails is maybe dying. It's hard to say, but Tails is the guy. He's in love with a plant woman.
Wait a minute.
I thought Sonic Frontiers was great, but I understand why other people didn't enjoy it as much. Because for some people, the whole game has to be good and not just have incredible boss fights. I get that. But I'm a sucker, and when the boss fight is like triple S tier and the rest of the game is like C tier, I'm still loving it. Yeah, let's go. Those boss fights are great.
All right.
Look, there's a reason I don't think I'm a good game critic, and yet people keep wanting me to review stuff. Like, I don't understand why. I'm dumb. I love cool stuff. Speaking of cool stuff, let's move on to news. Yeah, the final boss fight's nowhere near as good as the rest. Because I'm so animated. Titanfall 2 lives!
Okay.
Yeah. So, Titanfall 2 has been down for a while, right? We mentioned it way back when, but you couldn't even really play multiplayer at all because people could hack you, or because the servers were dying. They brought it back. They fixed the servers. You can't get hacked anymore just booting into a multiplayer game. The servers are working again. And they added a new event called Attack on Titanfall. Very much so. Where you actually get to go into an event and play a bunch of different maps together, where they have abandoned this game for 6 years. I think this is them trying to build hype again for Titanfall 2 so they can announce 3. But maybe that's just me coping.
Which is really weird, because Titanfall kind of made a big splash.
Mm-hmm.
The original game was kind of not a huge deal, but kind of a big deal.
Yep.
That's when it came out, and they really dropped the ball on Titanfall 2. By being, I think,
Titanfall.
Crazy.
They just abandoned it.
Well, yeah, but look, if you've built a system where people get hacked from logging into your server, you haven't been paying attention.
I agree 100%. Thankfully, that didn't start at launch, or it would have been way worse, but it was still bad. And the fact that, hey, you can buy the game still, but you can't play it online, that was really dumb.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Technically correct. So, I'm glad it's back. I'm looking forward to, maybe on a Friday stream, we'll play some Titanfall 2 again and have some fun there. But hoping this means we're going to get in Titanfall 3. Hopefully.
Okay.
Next up, Armored Core 6 got a patch. And we found out some cool information about how the music and the sound effects were recorded. Thankfully, you can just play in Titanfall 2. Single player is a completely separate mode. You can't just play the single player. In Titanfall 1, it was both. To get the single player, you had to play the multiplayer, because the story came in while you were in the matches. But in Titanfall 2, single player is a separate thing from the multiplayer. Multiplayer does have achievements.
Yeah. 100%er.
So, for the patch 1.02 for Armored Core, all of the assault rifles got bonuses to damage and to fire rate and to a reduction in reload time. So all of the assault rifles got better, which is good because the machine guns of the assault rifles were terrible. Nobody used them. There was no reason to use them because they sucked. So this is great. They fixed a bunch of bugs, fixed some crashes. However, people are pretty upset because they adjusted certain attacks performed by 3 different bosses. Well, it depends on what mode you're playing. If you're playing single player, yes. If you're playing multiplayer, missiles is the way to go. But people took this to mean, because they didn't say what they adjusted on them, people took this to mean they made the bosses easier. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, where Radon in Elden Ring, they fixed his hitboxes, they reduced his damage, people threw a fit, they raised his damage back up, but because they fixed his hitboxes, there are people that say you never really beat Radon if you beat him now because you didn't beat him when his hitboxes were broken. In that same way, they made it where Balteus's missile attack isn't the first thing he does always because his AI was broken. And so, yeah. Now, his AI actually tries to attack you instead of just fire missiles. And so, yes, technically, people that were having trouble with him because he was firing missiles are going to have an easier time. But people that had no problem with the missile mechanic are going to have a harder time. The boss isn't easier. He's just working as originally intended, you know? They did make the tracking on the missiles a little bit slower, but it is still absolutely a huge rain of missiles. So if you don't dodge that first part of it, you're going to get hit by all of them anyway, whether they made the tracking slower or not, you know? And that's the thing. If you really want to say, hey, I beat the game at its most difficult, do it punch only and turn all OS upgrades off. Punch those bosses to death. There are people already doing that on Twitch.
Yeah.
Like, look, we talked about this yesterday. I don't need to be the biggest gamer around because I'm never going to be better than the people that beat games blindfolded. I'm good.
You've got no dedication.
Where's my true spirit of the gamer? Yeah, or the speedrunners, yeah. But
speedrunners are a different breed of animal altogether anyway.
Absolutely. I want to do this for 6 hours and make no progress and feel good about myself.
Right. No upgrades.
I think what would have fixed this again is if they had just listed, that's true, technically more cost effective, if they had just listed what they changed for the bosses. But you're always going to have that crowd that's like, well, I beat it first try,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, everybody's got to feel special.
Yeah. If you want to hear more of our opinions on that, go back and listen to the stream yesterday where we talk about people that came in to talk to us at our jobs about their gaming achievements.
Yeah.
However, the other thing I wanted to mention is the way that the SFX were recorded.
Okay.
Which is really cool. They recorded most of the sound effects inside a steel mill.
Right on.
To be able to get that punchy, heavy weight and that loud bang. They recorded it and it's great. I love that. That's so cool.
That is cool.
Awesome. The pile bunker? That's a pneumatic press.
If the sound's there,
yeah.
It works.
Awesome.
It works. See, if you the music producer Sylvia Massey, one of my favorite producers, like that would be my dreams. Like if you could have to do your music, you pick your producer, like Sylvia Massey would be the producer. But she was recorded a few different things, and she's got a like a silo not far from her studio.
Yeah.
Like a big one of the cool things, she'll have like people play the snare drum out there and different things like that.
That's cool. I don't think that happens in the game, Dork, but you know, maybe they threw it.
Dummy, that's dong.
All right, we're gonna move on. I have nothing better than that.
Gosh, come on.
So we didn't get to see a lot of this on our end, but the Switch 2 was shown off to developers at Gamescom.
I'm sure it is.
And go ahead.
There's no need for Switch 2 at this point.
Right.
Seriously. I honestly don't see the need for it. I think it's really jumping the gun.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think the stuff that's come out from it is good, but at this point, I would much rather they just made a home console that can run games better than try to continue with the Switch, you know?
Yeah. The Switch, I don't expect the Switch. There's some games on the Switch I love. I think it's a good system.
Yeah.
I don't play the Switch for its power.
Right.
And in a way, you're going to have to make the game better. You're going to have to make gameplay better if you're building on the Switch.
Absolutely. I'd much rather have Xenoblade running on something that could run it at 120 frames per second. You know, that would be great.
I don't know that Nintendo's really had to worry about, jacking up stats on their hardware since they beat the TurboGrafx 16.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We beat that. We got past that. We're over that hump. Now we're in a different market. I don't know. Switch 2 just seems really dumb to me.
Yeah.
Still so we're done with the Switch as it is.
Yeah. There's a few good things I think that have come out of it. Apparently what they showed to devs was Breath of the Wild, which is a weird choice instead of Tears of the Kingdom, but Breath of the Wild running with a higher frame rate, which would be great. I would love for my Nintendo games to run at 60. That'd be wonderful. And it seems like they fixed the Joy-Con drift.
Okay.
Which they should have fixed with the Switch 1, but that's cool. But the funniest thing about it to me is that they had a bunch of tough-looking security guards in black suits at their booth at all times. And it was yeah, of course they did. They've seen too much lately of people stealing magic cards, stuff getting leaked out. They're not taking that chance.
Yeah.
I thought that was really. But yeah, that whole palette of magic cards for sure. So next up, we get into a thing that people are a little upset about, which is might need upgrade your PC. Todd Howard was asked why they didn't optimize Starfield for PC, and his response was, "We did. You might need to upgrade your PC."
Yeah. No.
Go ahead.
Well, you say you've got for Baldur's Gate, you're at minimum specs, right?
Oh, I'm at medium specs for Baldur's Gate. I'm doing great for Baldur's Gate.
Okay. I misunderstood. I thought
for Starfield, I'm barely scraping the minimums.
Right. I don't think their minimum is what the minimum is.
Right.
Not the game playable. I think it's just marketing, get people to buy it. Yeah, you always need to upgrade your computer. That's gonna work.
Right.
I tell you what, if you're thinking about it, do the Crisis thing.
Yeah.
Look, you want to play this on PC? It is intensive. You're gonna have to upgrade. That was before it was sellable, right?
Right.
They said that as they're putting out the game.
Yeah.
If you come at it like that, there's not really much you can say on the other side.
I agree.
Just you're missing out on a big market because it can't play on these lower PCs. But that's just kind of a douche thing to do. To say at this point.
Well, and I didn't comment on it during my week, but I did try to play Starfield through Game Pass on my PC, and it chugged so hard. Cutscenes were out of sync. I say cutscenes. In it, AI voices for NPCs were out of sync. And every time I would try to take a step, it would just completely unplayable, right? I can't play that game. I understand I wasn't going to be able to probably, right? And I knew going into it that hey, there's a good chance this just isn't going to run well for me. And I was fine with that because I saw the specs and knew I barely scraped them, right? But then you don't have to insult me over it, Todd. I'm sorry I'm poor and can't afford to, upgrade my PC to run your game.
All right. That's kind of, yeah. What a snooty thing to say.
Yeah. Also, go ahead.
It's just you say it too.
Yeah.
You would still have people mad at you, but you get upset. I thought, we're really trying to put the cutting edge. This is a big game. It requires a lot. You can be humble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It was a post from somebody that has a 4090. And they were like, upgrade to what, Todd? Upgrade to what? So, where we're at on Star. This next news is really sad. So, Life Formed, which is the composer of Tunic and Dust Force, was hit to a quantum computer. Yeah. Was hit with false DMCAs. And all of their soundtracks have been taken down from streaming service. And so this is just a quick heads up of, look, when you have a composer that puts their stuff on YouTube for you or on Spotify for you, especially on YouTube, they are constantly at threat of other people claiming their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why so many don't, right? Because once it got claimed by somebody else, legally, they had to take it down from everything so they could fight that battle. Because that's what their MCN required. Really annoying, because Tunic has a great soundtrack, and they worked really hard on it, and it's not fair that somebody that didn't make anything of it can claim, yeah, no, I made that, and YouTube goes, oh, of course you did. Yeah, we're not going to do any research. Of course you did.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. Right now, they're in a legal battle,
Yeah.
Who knows? Their stuff's still on Bandcamp, so if you want to support them, you can do it that way, but it's not going to be on YouTube or Spotify for a while, probably.
Right. I don't know how harsh the penalty should be, but yeah. What will help is that you're dealing with international law.
Yeah.
Places don't have extradition. Many places don't recognize,
For sure.
Yeah.
Also, people ask sometimes why we don't use the game's music in the reviews. This is one of the reasons. If it's like a big company that I know is going to be able to sort it out, like Trails, Falcom, yeah, I'll use their music. They've made it clear everybody can use it. They're going to sort it out if that happens. But a little group like Lifeform, they can't do that. They can't go to bat for you for using their music after they told you could use it,
Yeah, you got to prove the fault. Yeah, you still got to go through the thing of proving the faulty DMCAs. And look, you two don't have the best way to go about that.
Yeah. That's why, Dark, we only use music that we've been approved to be able to use.
Yeah. I mean, I agree that there needs to be an extra step in there. And look, for my music, I had to get BMI.
Yeah.
To pick up the rights on it, so there would be something to fight. Because the first time I tried it, all kind of claims and stuff, trying to get money off stuff. Look, you're not going to get any money off my music. I try to seal up every hole I could, and I'm not making any money off of it.
Right.
It's not well done because they claim it. They take the claim as true.
Yeah.
That claim is truth. They clicked the box. They said they were being truthful. Everything.
Well, they must be telling the truth. Who would lie on the internet?
Right. They click the box, and you got to fight it. You got to respond back. And basically, they should, they say, no, your claim's not right. And if you don't have any swing anywhere, any power anywhere, that's going to be the end of your claim.
That's right.
And you're just going to be out of luck.
Yeah.
It is bad.
And as Dark said, people have to prove the truth instead of the other person having to prove the falsity.
Yeah.
So this next thing is a fun thing, and I thought it would be a good mood bringer back upper, right? Uplifting, that's what most people would have said. We have 20 years of Steam and they made a like special, hey, it's been 20 years thing where they went down like the history of the company, and some of it's a little dry, right? Issues copy of. Yeah, that's fair. It happens, unfortunately, and I hate it, but it does unfortunately happen. The interesting stuff to me is like 2003, September 12th, they launched Steam, right? They announced they were going to do it at 2002's Game Developers Conference, GDC. 2004, in March, Counter-Strike Condition Zero comes out, the first in the Counter-Strike series. And Half-Life 2 comes out November 16th. Which is cool. Seems only 20 years old, yeah. Facebook came out in 2004 as well. Just, throw that out there. 2005, they had some cool stuff. The first third-party game came on Steam, Ragdoll Kung Fu. 2006, Half-Life 2 Episode 1 came out. That's true, they don't know how to count to 3. 2007, Portal TF2 and Half-Life 2 Episode 2 came out. Big year for them. And it was the first Steam sale. 50% off of everything. 10 to 50%. 2008, Left 4 Dead came out. And Steamworks came out as a set of tools for devs and publishers to be able to edit stuff and update things. And the Steam Cloud came out 2008 as well. 2009 was Left 4 Dead 2. It would be great, yeah. PlayStation puts up a lot of sales, but it's never to the level of Steam sales. Left 4 Dead 2 was really the only big thing that happened for them.
Yeah, it sells on Xbox to be kind of, not much. Then they'll have like one game where it's like, yeah, this is marked down a bunch.
Yeah.
You got to dig to find that.
Yeah. In 2010, they added Mac OS support and Steam Play for Linux users. And the Steam Wallet, which only unfortunately helped microtransactions a lot. But 2011 was Portal 2. And the Steam Workshop became a place where people could put mods. Yeah. Also, when Minecraft came out, 2011. Want to remember the years before. Counter-Strike Go came out 2012. And Steam Greenlight came out, which would eventually become Steam Early Access. Steam Community and the Community Market also came out in 2012, which unfortunately sucks. And then Big Picture Mode came out. 2013 was Dota 2. And trading cards happened in 2013. So if you have a bunch of those in your Steam inventory, taking up space for no reason, thanks 2013.
Yeah.
Steam Community is okay. Steam Community Market is a problem. Because that's what brought trading cards in. But Dark, I have so many and they never sell, no matter how many times I try.
Yeah.
2014 gave us the Discovery update, which gave in a lot of accessibility features. 2015 added in the Steam controller stuff. Give them to you, that's fair. Steam refunds also came in 2015. Crazy to believe it'd been out for that long without refunds. When I think about Steam, I always think about the refund policy, 2016, the HTC Vive came out for Steam. Most people still don't own one, from what the recent surveys have said. Then 2017, Steam Greenlight became Steam Direct, which is Steam Early Access. 2018, Proton compatibility came in, which would lead the way for the Steam Deck. I mean, yeah, that's fair. In 2019, Remote Play Together happened, which is great. The ability to play multiplayer games, even if only one person owns it, with your group. That's cool. And Steam Next Fest, which nearly killed me one year. And then Steam Labs, which allowed you to give feedback on new features and was like a early access for Steam updates. 2020 gave the News and Events Hub. Crazy, again, that it went 8 years without a hub for news and events. Use the Vive last night. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. And that's also when Half-Life Alyx came out. 2021, they had a partnership with Steam China, which I didn't even know was a thing, but apparently that happened in 2021.
I didn't either, but yeah, that does not surprise me at all.
Right? 2022, the Steam Deck came out, and the Steam mobile app got a big makeover to make it better.
Mm.
And then 2023, Counter-Strike 2 entered into beta, and over 11,000 titles have been verified for the Steam. That's the 20 years of Steam. Fun little time, you know.
That was a smart idea. It seemed to pay off.
Yeah. That leads us into the unfortunate news, because unfortunately the sandwich, the bread's gotten moldy. Unity Engine has a new policy. So, most people don't know, but Unity very recently updated to be better, I believe, was 2014, 2015, maybe? I don't remember which year it was. Unity recently had a mix-up, I guess not the right word, a change-up of leadership. The company. And so their new person in charge has decided to change some stuff. Probably, yeah. And the new proposed plans have upset people quite a bit for good reason. It's true. The new plan is that if you're using Unity as an engine, if you have Unity Personal, Unity Plus licenses, there will be a fee to use those. And the fee will come in during installs. So whenever people install your game, there will be a fee that you will have to pay. There's a bunch of games made on Unity that are already out there.
Yeah, those are under the old agreement, and they can probably
After 2K installs, but we're going to get into why that number doesn't really matter, Dark. Yes, but those companies have been using Unity for a long time.
Yeah.
And they know Unity.
Yeah, no, this is going to cut down. Unity's been used for a lot of games. I think Unity's like up there with like Unreal Engine 5. There's a couple of others, you know.
Yeah, I was going to get into that. There is some retroactive stuff that's coming in where the fee won't be the same fee, but they will still be paying a fee.
Let's try. It's one of those things. I'm afraid that they're hoping that people don't have the money or the wits to take them to court.
Yeah.
Over.
However, and we'll get into the numbers, but however, there are a couple companies that I want to mention that use Unity for specific things that will not pay these fees and will take them to court. So it's going to change, right? But the way the plan works, yeah, there's already one. Installs over the install threshold will be 0.20 cents USD per install for the first 1 to 100,000 if you have personal or plus. If you have pro, it's 0.15 cents per install. And if you have enterprise, it's 0.125 per install. From 100,000 to 500,000, it's still 0.20 if you have personal or plus for all of them. If you have pro, it's 0.075, and if you have enterprise, it's 0.06. 500,000 to 1 million is 20 for personal and Unity Plus, 0.03 for pro, 0.02 for enterprise, and over 1 million is 0.20 for personal plus, 0.02 for pro, and 0.01 for enterprise. But this also includes, they're bumping you have to be at least premium. This also includes if your game is not purchased and instead is given for free. So it includes games that are given through PS Plus. It includes games that are on Game Pass, where you're not getting a fee for every purchase, but you are getting a fee for every install.
All you've done is guarantee people aren't going to use your engine to build.
Yeah.
Look, Unreal 5, okay, their terms, right? if you make over $1 million, as I understand it, maybe it's just if you get $1 million game, but you got to get over $1 million
Right.
before they're going to worry about bothering you about, hey, you used our engine, we deserve a little bit of that.
Right.
You know, to like 2,000 installs they're going to start. That's not much.
Nope. Also, this includes people that have already purchased the game and are re-downloading it. That counts as a fresh install for Unity.
No.
Yep.
No. There's too many ways to take advantage of that.
Yep. They have lost their minds.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
So I have a list here of Stephen Totillo got in touch with him today and like had an interview with him, and there's some specific things, and the interview, as far as I understand, was not allowed to be published. They wouldn't allow it. They only allowed him to point out some bullet points. For sure. And the bullet points are, if a player deletes a game and reinstalls it, that's 2 installs, 2 charges. Same if they install on 2 devices, but charity games and charity bundles are exempted from fees.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. There've been a couple devs that have already said some stuff about this. Aggro Crab, the devs for the Aggro Crab, Angry Indie Game Studio, that's the name of their studio, have already put out a thing that's like, hey, we were working on our game, and it's on Unity, and we're not going to work on it anymore on Unity, because this, unless they change this, so we need everybody to call on Unity to change this. And how are they going to know? They claim they'll know. I don't know how they're going to know if you're not connected, you know?
They'll know. How they're going to know.
However, I also want to give you a list of other games that are Unity games that, you know, are made by some big companies and won't stand for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you might know a few, right?
I've played a couple of Unity games this year.
I'm sure you have. Metal Hellsinger.
Okay.
Gloomhaven.
Okay.
Right? The Ruined King, the Riot game. These are just the ones on Steam. I have another list for ones that aren't on Steam. Ultra Kill, which is getting a lot of people talking about Ultra Kill right now. Power Wash Simulator, Solasta, Hobo Simulator, Dwarf Romantic. A bunch of games that people talk about a lot, right? Outer Wilds. Okay. But then we have ones that aren't on Steam, like Pokemon Go. Warhammer 40k Tacticus.
Yeah.
Look. I'm sorry, this is the big one, and I'm having a hard time not laughing while I say it, because we know what this company's going to do. Magic the Gathering Arena.
It sounds like Wizard of the Coast owns the company now.
Yeah. So, you got Wizards of the Coast, Nintendo, and Games Workshop. That's like the trifecta of you don't mess with their IP, right? Like, what are they doing? What are they doing?
I realize you got to make money. I do. And y'all did a really cool thing. Make it, or actually, new owner, yeah?
Yeah.
Wasn't involved in the creation of the engine or anything.
Right, most likely, yeah.
Most likely, yeah. They're going to come in and ruin it. Great.
There are other games like Hollow Knight Silksong is made on Unity. We've been waiting for that game to come out forever. They haven't announced when it's coming out. If this doesn't change, it's not coming out for another 5 years because they're going to have to remake it in something other than Unity. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it can possibly go through once the legal departments of these major companies go, hey, you can't do this to us. We didn't agree on this, you know? It probably will just die. That's a good point. But how many games that were already in production now have to be completely remade because people are gun shy of Unity?
Well, yeah, and even if you're going to go through with it, you're going to have to restructure your studio, the development. You know,
How many small indie devs delist their games because they can't afford for people to download them?
yeah.
It's terrible. Like, what? Again, I don't think it'll happen because I don't think the big companies will let it happen.
It's your con man tactics.
It is.
No, go ahead, use it. No, it's fine. Use it. Okay, pay us.
Yeah.
It's like a mob doing you a favor or something.
Untitled Goose Game would kill that dev team.
Yeah.
Like that team can't afford. Like that game blew up way bigger than that team could afford the number of downloads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Complete and utter nonsense. Anyway, hopefully we'll have an update on that next week because hopefully that doesn't go through. I did just want to mention a couple last things here. Theoretically, this includes piracy. Because if they claim they know every download, every time a game with Unity boots, right? So this means demos would now be risky for devs, because do demos count? Bundles would be risky for devs, unless you can prove it was a charity bundle, right? How do they prove that? How do they know that? Betas are dangerous for devs? Updates are dangerous for devs? Yeah, exactly, right? It's part of a bundle. Part of a charity bundle. Just buy all your games from Humble from now on, and if they try to say anything, go, no, it was a Humble game. I don't know what you're talking about. Complete nonsense.
Yeah.
I don't have any good news to end that with, so we'll throw it over to your corner if you're ready to move on.
All right. We always start this off with the birthday. Thank you for your charitable.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna rename my cat Charity.
Okay.
But it was happy birthday to Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. Have you ever heard Bone Thugs and Harmony before?
Not.
Give them a listen, and a couple. Just go through and find something. It is interesting.
Okay.
They do something new. I think it's kind of ahead of its time, but give them a listen.
That's fair.
Worth it.
All right. I got you. Yeah, I understand.
Get that guy there. Okay. So I got a quick news story for you, and I got a couple things to tell you right quick. Okay.
Okay.
That as well. So first of all, I got to tell you about a man named Eric Edson.
Okay.
Who was 52. He in Vermont, in Burlington, Vermont, he committed armed robbery, and so the police tried to catch him. He was caught in the act. Tried to catch him, and so he started to run and get away. Now, I think the police are kind of mad, so I don't know the thing, but apparently he got stopped in his car. He tried to use his car as a weapon against a couple of officers, then took off. All right.
Okay.
And so yes, they counted that as assault of a police officer, 2 counts, and impeding a police officer, 2 counts. So he's got that. And so they got these, I'm not saying he's a good guy. He's got his robbery suspect, armed robbery.
Yeah.
through that. So he takes off in the car, drives his car. Okay. I'm going to try to go through this word for word. Okay. So, Burn police responded to a man passed out in a running vehicle that matched the description of one used in a robbery a week before. The officers roused him. He fled at a high rate of speed, assaulting both officers with a vehicle, the police said. Okay. So it was a high speed. That would be pretty awesome, getting rich off the couch. That would,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody paid that much for my couch, though. So it was. So he starts driving away. He starts getting away from the police, right?
Right.
Gets out of the car, runs on foot. Now they're in a foot chase. He's outrunning the police on a foot chase. They're running through some woods. I understand it. He steals a bicycle. Okay, and keeps pursuit up on the bicycle.
Okay.
Outrunning the police on the bicycle. Make sure I have this in the right order. Then when he reached a place called Lake Champlain, he stole a sailboat where he got intercepted by the Coast Guard. So now he's got the police and the Coast Guard. So he ran the sailboat aground at the base of some lakeside cliffs and fled.
Okay.
And they lost him. Now he was apprehended like the day next to that in a kayak 21 miles away from where they originally started the chase. They spotted him in a kayak, came up, he landed the kayak, ran a little ways, jumped in the river and swam. He always got up on the shore, but troopers and game wardens were waiting for him on the other shore. Maybe so. Hell of a drug. Now look, not saying as a guy, all I'm saying is I need the Netflix version. I need to see. I need to see this escape.
Yeah,
I want it enacted. Going from the vehicle to foot to bicycle to sailboat,
right? The canoe
to foot to kayak.
Kayak, yeah.
Foot, then caught.
Look, I don't condone his actions, but I'm impressed.
Right. Get a brick of mud. Yeah. This is not World War II.
Yep.
Yes. Which I don't have. I know his name's Eric Edson, 52. Robbed a store in Burlington. That's all I know. There has been a request trying to find out. He didn't get taken to the hospital to be evaluated. He should be arraigned. I think he's already been arraigned, but there was an email sent to police trying to find out who he's being represented by. So, ask some questions. But that's all I've got on the story. If I do get an update on that or some more details, I will let you know.
Awesome.
This is like Fugitive 3. Yeah. Okay, so I got something else I have to share with you. Okay. So I don't know if they still do, but Tennessee Zoo, a zoo in Tennessee, needed help. And I thought would put this out. Apparently, I think it's called Bright Zoo in Tennessee. Okay. There was a giraffe born that has no spots. It is like dun brown.
Okay.
It has no spots. And it's kind of a rare thing. They do have a Facebook page for both Facebook, Bright Zoo in Tennessee. They do have a Facebook page. Go look. They're asking for public help to name the newborn. They have 4 names picked. They're supposed to do this by Labor Day. I'm going to try to find an update. I couldn't find an update on this.
Okay.
I did find an update, but it's different. So I did one more thing.
That was my first thought, Dark. Call him Spot.
Right. You are cruel. Now, the name they came up with, they they wanted Swahili names was Kipiki, which means unique. Well, that's a good name. Good name. Farali, which means unusual or extraordinary.
Okay.
Shakiri, which meaning she is most beautiful. Or Jamela, which means one of great beauty.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody has a favorite among those four. Through that, which one means spot? You like the third one? I thought there's some cool ones. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Pretty good. I'm glad they didn't let me name her in Swahili because I only know the name of 4 animals in Swahili, and I would have just named her Giraffe.
But fair enough. Fair enough.
Twiga.
Yes. They're supposed. I think they've wrapped this up, but I don't have Facebook, so
That's
I'll
fair.
have to get go through that. But according to just a couple of stats, according to the Giraffe Conservation Foundation, they have their own conservation foundation. Giraffes do. They're also the only animal 4 knees. There are only an estimated 16,000 reticulated giraffes left in the wild, which is a 50% drop from 36,000 35 years ago. Now, across all species or all 4 species and 9 subspecies, which are many of them are vulnerable, endangered, or critically endangered, there's 117,000 giraffes. There's not a lot of giraffes around, and there's definitely not a lot around that don't have spots.
Right.
Now, trying to find out a little bit more about this, and I looked at the wrong place. I did find that this happened again, or Doa.
See, I wasn't going to read out what Dark put on there because as much as I like Dark, I don't trust Dark to not put something on there just to get us to say it.
Fair enough. But this happened again. There was another giraffe caught in Namibia in the wild on preservation that has no spots.
Okay.
And checked to make sure. I checked to make sure, but Namibia is nowhere near Tennessee.
Ooh.
There's not, there's only so many in the world, or 16,000 of these, so I'm sure they're related somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't have the same daddy. I know that for sure. Because Namibia is way, like if you go over to Africa, you got to go all the way down, like the coast. It's like down here.
You get across a little bit of water and go a little bit up.
Yeah, and water. There's the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah. Just a little bit of water.
Little pond you got to go across there, right? But you got Angola, Zambia, Botswana. If you know those are all neighbors of Namibia. That was down on the southern part of Africa, so nowhere near Tennessee. I think it's closer than some other places in Africa to Tennessee, but
sure,
not near some others.
Probably closer than Madagascar.
I just want y'all to know you live in a time where there is 2 giraffes that are both uncolored that have no spots, born on different sides of the world.
Nice.
Look at that.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's a genetic defect. Yeah, it just pops up sometimes. It's very rare. Very rare. The spotless. Yeah, definitely.
So, go ahead.
It is. And for Dark's comment.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So it has come time again for your assignment. You beat Bendy.
Yeah, it's a good game. Really good game. Very enjoyable.
Glad. I know a lot of people were excited to see the ending of that, but that means it's time for a new vote.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's like Call of the Sea. It's the exact same engine. They use a lot of the exact same not sprites. What do you call them now? Somebody's gonna watch that and go, that guy
animations.
And now the your images,
models,
what you're using, skins, your models, things like that. A lot of that's the same.
Yeah.
And That's two completely different games. I loved it. I loved both those games. I thought it was really cool.
Are those Unreal or Unity? Do you know?
I think they're Unity. They're not Unreal. I think they might be Unity.
Okay.
Unless it's something, it might be something else entirely.
Right, could
they
be.
both have the exact same engine.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. And they both made very unique games.
I got you.
Assets. They use some of the same assets.
I got you. Yeah.
And yeah.
All right. Well, chat, you know how this works. 1, 2, or 3. If you're on YouTube, 1, 2, or 3. Let's not say the name of the games. I know it's been a couple weeks. 2 minutes on the clock, and you can vote now.
Can't afford for me to play Armored Core 6.
We shall see which one wins out here. I'm actually really interested in how this goes.
Okay.
Because I think all of them could be really interesting. I don't know if any of them will be like the one that wins it all and you play for weeks, like Bendy, but it seems like I should have expected this, I guess, but I thought the other two were pretty interesting. But we shall see. It's up 5-0 right now with the others, so I think we'll get to the end of the first minute here and probably just call it because
it is not the first Final Fantasy. Don't lie to me.
That would be really funny to pull on you, though.
We shall see.
We shall see.
That's fair. No.
All right, so we're just gonna end the poll early. It's 5-0. There's no point.
Fair enough.
You're going to be playing Honey, I Joined a Cult.
Is Rick Moranis in this?
I don't think so.
It already sucks.
But I think it runs on the same engine as the prison games that they made. You'll know what I mean when you see the game, when you go to install it. I can't remember the Escapist or something like that is the name of the prison games. It looks like those games. So
okay. Rick Moranis. The Keymaster. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. My Blue Heaven. You could melt all this stuff.
Here's the Steam key. I don't know. That we're going to find out. But
I'm going to find out if that's initiate. Okay, it came through. I'm going to find out if that's an initiation, right? Or whatever. I hope it's one of those fun cults. Not like,
not a boring one.
No, put on the sweatpants and the tennis shoes. Lay in the bunk bed. Drink your Kool-Aid.
All right.
Fair enough.
Do you have any plugs, good sir?
No, off the top of my head. Not off the top of my head. If I did, I forgot them.
Yeah, I'm in the same camp. I know I had one before we started, but...
Yeah. But we talked about stuff since then.
Oh, check out Murphy Napier. She did some reviews of One Piece live action and does... Normally she's a book reviewer, but she recently got into One Piece like a year ago, and she's been making a bunch of One Piece videos since then. She makes good stuff. So check out Murphy Napier.
I don't know what flavor the Kool-Aid is.
Hopefully you find out tomorrow.
Yes.
I almost forgot, announcement-wise, Friday stream will be late.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to work Friday night now. So Friday stream, instead of starting at 7 CT, will be at 9 CT, and we'll play through at least midnight. I don't know how much longer that will go. We might try to just beat the whole thing, but we'll play through at least midnight. So tomorrow, you'll be playing Honey, I Joined a Cult.
Yes.
Thursday, we'll be talking about a Native American tribe. We get to find out Thursday. I'm excited. And then Friday, we'll be trying to do more of the 100% playthrough of Armored Core 6, doing every mission in Chapter 2 at least, but most likely every mission in Chapter 2 and 3, because Chapter 3 is really short. So, ooh.
Too early.
Sorry to hear that, Dark. Sorry to hear that. You can always go back and watch the VOD later, though.
We have a good time at the craft show, though. Hope that goes well.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to have a good time. So, until next time, I've been Trey.
I've been Rungren.
This has been the Full Spectrum Podcast. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. Life. And look, hey, sometimes you just got to run from the cops for like a day. Switch between a bunch of different vehicles and maybe one day get, a plane added in there too, so you can have planes, trains, and automobiles. I can see you can get on a train either. I'm losing this. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that life has to offer.